Okay, the top three New Year's resolutions every year. Can you guess what they are?
Okay, we're being serious. Lose weight, gain hair, and make
Okay,
more money.
for the average person.
Oh, okay. Probably lose weight, make more money. I don't know.
You got two out of three right.
All right.
The third one is to improve relationships.
Okay.
Every single year, those are the most like made New Year's resolutions. But it's also a fact that around the second week of February, over 85% of people have given up on those resolutions. Welcome to the Life by Design podcast. I'm your host, Kim Ward, a certified master life and business coach, NLP practitioner, and your guide to building a life and business that you absolutely love. Here, we're all about empowering family focused entrepreneurs to design a leveraged business that supports your dreams, your values, and most importantly, your family. Each episode, we'll dive into practical strategies, mindset shifts, and powerful insights to help you create unstoppable momentum and lasting success without sacrificing what matters most. Whether you're looking to grow your business or get unstuck or align your goals with your lifestyle, you're in the right place. So let's get intentional, let's get inspired, and let's design a life you love by design. Let's dive in. It's like we're not even halfway into the first quarter and you've all given up and thrown your hands up.
Hmm.
So I know that everything that I talk about and I come from is a business perspective. You know, our business is called Life by Design Solutions. So it's really how to create, without sounding corny, how to create the life that you've always envisioned for yourself, whether it is relationships, whether it's finance and wealth, or whether it's health. And so I want to kind of turn this to you today to talk about your weight loss journey.
I got hired at the fire department. I was in my 20s, and everybody in their 20s is, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people in their 20s, that's the prime time. Testosterone's going strong, and man, you're out running around and just going crazy. And I got hired at the fire department. I was 249 pounds, and that was the heaviest I'd ever been prior. So, long story short, you get on hired at the fire department, and what do you do? Well, everybody wants to build camaraderie, so you eat together. And when you eat together, you don't choose what you eat. You
Mm.
eat basically, unless you're cooking, you will eat whatever's handed to you. And over time, you start eating more and more and more. Um, and that's where I think I got into more trouble is you don't realize how much food you're eating. You don't realize how little you're exercising, even though I've always exercised. But the amount of calories I was bringing in did not compare to the amount of effort I was putting into exercising. So before I knew it, I maxed out at 296. And probably now I'm in my 50s somewhere. So, probably 25, 30 years, I had been unhappy with my weight. And I promised myself year after year, day after day, meal after meal, that I was going to make a change. And it took something to really wake myself up and realize that I had to make a change.
What did it take?
My dad was shorter than me, but he was he was shorter and lighter than me, but it got to a point where he couldn't support his own weight anymore. And just to lift him up, I'm 6'4" at the time, I was probably 275, 280. I couldn't lift him up.
Mm.
And I finally did lift him up. I shouldn't say that. I finally got him up, but I hurt my back. And the first thing I thought of was you. And I thought, there's no way I can, even remotely ask you to help me up off the ground, being almost 300 pounds. It wasn't feasible. And it scared the living daylights out of me. And I knew I had to make a change. And I decided to do that finally.
And that's going to be different, for other people. They're
Mhm.
not going to share that same situation. So for them, maybe they're still waiting for that drastic something to happen for them to realize like, okay, I've got to make a change. I have to do this. So when you were kind of going through the heavier side of your journey, how did you feel?
I hated it. And, and I don't know if everybody does it, but I would sit there and I would just kind of look at myself sitting down, look at my belly and go, oh, you slob, and that, I said that to myself because it's not, if I were to imagine what I would look like, it would not be the way I was. And it's comical in a sense because everybody in the world used to say, man, you're just a big guy.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not that bad. You're just a big guy. And on surface level, I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. But deep down, it wasn't right. It wasn't who I wanted to be. And you would think that being unhappy with yourself for 30 years, you would think that would be enough to wake you up and actually make a change. But, it just wasn't. It just wasn't to that point where I made that final change.
That's my point because there's so many humans, you know them right now.
Oh, yeah.
I know them right now. We're in that space of like, ugh, I don't even want to look at myself. I don't like looking at my own pictures, whatever it is for them,
Mhm.
but they haven't made any kind of change or any kind of effort. So as they're eating the meal or the things that they know that they shouldn't eat or the second helping, and they're saying to themselves, maybe I'll start tomorrow,
Mhm.
or maybe I'll start when, fill in the blank. What does it take outside of tragedy to to get real with yourself?
I think that goes down to each individual person. No one or no one reason will be sufficient for everyone. Everybody has to have their own calling, has to have their own coming to Jesus moment, if you would. And until you receive that, until you see that, until you receive it and see it, truly see it, you don't make that change. And the biggest thing for me was when I started doing it, I started off with just food. I thought, okay, if I lower my food intake, that should be enough. Well, I used one of the apps and it made a difference. It dropped me down little by little by little. And I thought, okay, I've made a difference. Then I realized, okay, well, I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start exercising. I've always exercised my entire life, but I put a little bit more effort into it. And then over time, I convinced you finally, in a sense, to, I told her, I said, I'd like to get an elliptical. She's like, okay, get it. So I got it. And you're always fearful of spending money on exercise equipment because they usually become hangers. They usually become places just to put stuff.
Or your laundry?
And yeah, and I wouldn't allow that to happen. And I worked out 45 minutes a day, every day. I would take maybe one day off a week. And I started doing that. Then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, I'm doing it now. Well, I want to get a set of dumbbells. So we bought a set of dumbbells and I started using that. And slowly but surely, we've gotten more pieces of equipment and I use it every day. Now, it hasn't always been easy because you will hit a plateau, and I've hit them quite a few times, and it's very frustrating. I got down, I think, 25 pounds, and I hit a plateau. And it took me almost 2 months to break through that plateau. And now I'm down to 248, and I'm hitting another plateau. But again, I just got you've got to work through it. You've got to lower your intake of food, and you don't realize how little you can actually live on. You really
Yeah.
don't. I mean, we're used to, I'd like to supersize that meal or all these things. And you think, oh man, I'm really hungry. It's funny. Once you take it away, that urge isn't there anymore. You got to break through that urge, that cravings. And once you break through that, it's gone. But
Yeah.
it takes willpower. And then of course, when you jumped out of the plane and the guy looked at me and said, "Yeah, you're still too heavy," I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So that's another reason why I want to get into gear and lose another 17, 18 pounds. I want to jump out of an airplane,
Yeah.
with you. And if that's not a good enough goal to change your lifestyle even more, then what is? What isn't? You know?
Okay. So I'm on this road trip. I go through a fast food restaurant and I ordered a small. You remember me calling you saying, "Oh my gosh, they don't even offer smalls."
Yes, I
She
do.
said, "No." And I'm like, "What do you mean, no? I just want a small. I just wanted a little something during my road trip." And she said, "We only have medium or large." And I thought, that's a problem, you know? So all of our focus when we have the intent to become healthier, go on a weight loss journey, um, it's the motivation. It's making that first decision to take that step. And
Mhm.
that's the hardest part. But you have to make that decision every day to get up and get into the gym. So how do you do that?
Well, it's funny you say every day, and I wanted to add on to what you just said. You know, you do the best you can, and you're gonna falter. You're gonna eat a little bit something you shouldn't have. And the thing that I learned, I can't get on myself for making a mistake. Like if I have lunch and I eat too much for lunch, it didn't destroy all my progress. It literally just maybe stalled it for another day. And you can almost get to the point where you know how much weight you're going to gain in the morning or be lost by how I eat or how you eat the day before. And it's amazing. And if I could remember your question, what you just asked me, that'd even be better. What was your original
Really
question?
just about motivation, because it's like it's not just a one-time motivation. You have to tap into that motivation every single day.
It at first it's a struggle. It's a struggle every day. But once you start seeing results, it almost becomes a drug. It almost becomes a point where you get so excited to see that scale, even down a half a pound, and it matters. And once you create this snowball effect where you're eating right, working out, feeling good, the better you feel, the more you want to work out. And I remember I was watching an interview a very long time ago. It was with some model, and I don't remember her name or anything. And he asked her, he goes, you know, what do you eat or how can you not eat certain things? And she said, nothing tastes better than looking in the mirror and being happy.
Mhm.
And it is so true. You have to, every time you wake up in the morning, who are you looking at? Yourself. You're brushing your teeth, combing your hair, putting your makeup on, if that's what you do. You're constantly looking at yourself. And I love when I wake up in the morning and I don't see the, I say heifer because I know a heifer is a female cow, but I don't see me being a fat cow anymore. And that, baby, that's my reference. I'm probably too hard on myself, but that's how I felt. And I felt horrible. And now when I wake up and I look in the mirror, I'm happy.
Yeah,
And you can't put a price tag on that. And I apologize. We'll probably get some hate mail on that one, but
we don't care.
my point is once you make that change and once you do it and you work through all the issues that you have on the other side, you think to yourself, why did I wait so long? I waited 30 years. Why did I wait so long? Why, I used to wear real baggy shirts. I used to, wear the shorts, the baggy shorts. And now I don't do that anymore. And it's just, you feel better. And once you start feeling better, it's a lot easier to get into that gym every day. And
Yeah.
in fact, you feel guilty for not being in it.
Well, yeah. I mean, someone said something recently, and they're like, it's not necessarily about constantly taking away or feeling like you're going without.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe asking yourself, like, what can I add in today? And I know for you and I, part of that process was we started to juice.
Yes, I love that. It's ridiculous. I never thought I'd say it, but I love it.
If I'm not on the juicing and he opens the fridge and the juice isn't there, he's like, baby, where's the
Yep.
juice? We linked our favorite juicer in our Amazon store so that other people could kind of see as well. But I went on Pinterest. I found some anti-inflammatory juicing recipes, and we both love them, I think, way more than we expected to.
Definitely. I gave up having Monster every morning to doing a juice, and you couldn't have paid me to believe that. At the fire station, I'd have 4, 5, 6 Monsters a day. And I look back and I think, how did my heart not explode? You
Yeah.
know? And now I tried a Red Bull or something the other day. I couldn't do it. And it seems like your body gets used to the abuse.
Mhm.
And then once you stop abusing it and you try to dip your toe in that pool again, it goes, no. I had PVCs. Once I tried the energy drink again, and I could feel my heart go. I mean, it was crazy,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't miss it anymore. I don't.
It's so funny because it's like when you're at the different points in your journey, it's no different than when we talk to our clients about business. You're
Mm-hmm.
talking about small wins.
Yeah,
It's getting out there and seeing those small wins, whether you're adding in a juicing component or you don't feel like you're going without. Because when you feel like you're stripping things away and that you're sacrificing,
right.
I think that's where the fight comes in, even though it's for your own benefit. I've been sugar free. I don't even know how long it's been.
Which is a miracle in itself.
It is.
I
It's
know. I've had to run out to the store in the middle of the night for chocolate.
chocolate bars, Twizzlers, like the candy
Mm-hmm.
freak that I
Family pack.
what? A family pack.
Family pack.
Yes, yes. Go to BJ's or Costco and get the
Yep.
big Twizzlers. Um, it's crazy to say I of all people are sugar free, right? That's just still blows my mind. But yesterday we had a friend over for a birthday party and we did buy a cheesecake for his birthday. And I was cutting the cheesecake and I knew I wasn't going to have a piece, but as I was cutting, I got a tiny little bit of it on my pinky finger. So I was like, and just that tiny, tiny, tiny bit, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it's too sugary. I can't do it. I
Because
couldn't
you're not used to abusing your body anymore.
exactly.
Look, when we used to travel, we used to go to a fast food place, and what do you want? Oh, give me a triple decker sandwich. And now I'm like, I couldn't finish it if I had to. Now it's a single if we have to do that.
Yeah.
So you just you're changing your life for the best, and it's amazing. Again, when you look back and you think about all the stuff that used to eat and the amounts, the quantity, everything, it changes. And it happens so slowly, you don't even realize it.
That's so funny. So Adriana and I went for our facials yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to our esthetician, who's become just a good friend of ours. And she mentioned that her fiance, they're recently engaged. He was out of town for something. And she's like, I don't snack when he's not around. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, here's the crazy thing. I said, my husband just went back to South Florida to visit the guys from the fire department. And when he was gone, I did not snack while he was gone at all. And when you're home, and then she was like, oh my gosh, the same for me. When he's home, it's like we're happy. And
Mm-hmm.
so we just kind of sit down and get into that really kind of mindless snacking,
Mm-hmm.
mindless eating. And it's like, it's
Yeah,
because you're happy. So I'm like, damn, people stress eat. People eat when they're depressed. People eat when they're happy. And it's like, you have to just be aware
you do.
and conscientious. So when you go there, like you're in your big man garage right now, and you've got your sauna and your gym equipment, and you've added on since the dumbbells, by the way, you forgot to tell them all that
Well, I left that
add
out.
on.
I left that out.
Um, but when you're in the moment, you've kind of pushed through that wall of like, ugh, I gotta do it. And you're in a different space. So talk to us about when you're in that space.
It's very hard. It really is. There are some days that I get on the elliptical, and it's no brainer, man. I just whip through it and get my heart rate up higher than I should because I'm in the mood. And there are some days that I get on there and I swear I'm on it for 5 hours, even though it's 45 minutes, but it's hard. It's very hard to push through that. But I know that is a momentary discomfort. And I know that every second that goes by, I'm almost done with today's training. And tomorrow will be different. There are some days that are just hard. Especially if there's things going on around the house and do I have enough time? I literally plan my day and put in my workout time for that. And it's become such a part of my day that when I don't do it, it makes me feel horrible. So I almost feel more how do I say? I almost feel better when I fight through the bad times on the elliptical as opposed to whipping through the elliptical and not have a problem. I don't feel as my achievement isn't as much. You know, I know it sounds strange, but when you work hard through something, when you get on the other end, you just feel better about it.
No, I love this because, like I said, I'm always coming to our audience and our clients from the business perspective, where you're more of the mindset and the motivation and the life coaching realm. And everything you're saying, it still translates to business for me.
Sure.
And in my head, I was thinking, we work through either a DMO, which is a daily method of operation. I've had people call it a DMA, which is a daily method of action. And we still have to push through those moments in business that we don't want to. We're uncomfortable. Life is happening around us. Our mood isn't right. Our energy isn't right. But when you push through and you see the result and you're like, I'm so glad I did that. This is the only body we ever get.
Sure.
And so you actually have a DMO, if you will, for your workout routine. So you have a calendar and you're so dedicated to that. So what is that calendar telling you? What do you have on that thing?
I have a monthly calendar, and what I do is I will put every day. I'll look forward the week in front of me, and I'll put what body part I'm working out. I don't go crazy with the heavy lifting because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to bulk up. I want to basically maintain. If I don't work out the next day, I feel it in my body. A week goes by, I have aches, I have pains. It's ridiculous. But if I work out, that's when I feel the best. And that keeps me going also. But what I'll do is I'll break down every day, different muscle group every day. And they say if you want to build muscle, you do it twice a week or 3 times a week. If you want to maintain, it's at least once. You can do twice maybe. So again, I'll go through each muscle group. I'll put in what day I'm doing. And then I have a circle below that. And then I put in my time of what I do. And they tell you to do, I think it's 175 minutes a week of elliptical or cardio. And I do 45 minutes a day. So at 6 days a week, and that's almost what, 240 plus. So I exceed that and I still plateau. So, if you plateau, you just have to adjust. You have to adjust how much food you bring in. You have to adjust how much cardio you do. So you have to work through it. And that is the most frustrating time, is when you're trying to push through that plateau. You get so frustrated and overwhelmed. And the first day after that plateau, you see a pound, and then you see two more pounds, and then another pound. And it's like, I did it. But you have to push through, just like business and everything else. You have to push through everything.
That's so true. So it doesn't matter what avenue of life you're in, marriage, finance, business, health, you're not going to escape the decision making and the responsibility and having to do the action. You're just not going to. So it's so funny because I'm sitting here like daydreaming in the business world, like everything you're saying still translates for me.
I know. Well, it is a struggle, and we go through life, and it is so easy to make excuses. It is so easy to sit basically on the couch, or so easy to lay in bed. And my biggest problem is I feel guilty because, okay, I'm laying in bed and I can watch TV. Well, I could literally go on the the elliptical and not go crazy, but I still can do the exercise. Why can't I do that rather than sitting on a couch? And I know that is the ultimate question for everybody, but that's how I feel. I feel guilty at this point for not giving myself everything that I can give into the situation.
I'm the person that would rather lay in bed, and I'm like, maybe I'm stressed today. He's like, come work out.
Go
Maybe
work out.
my lymphatic fluid is still there. Like I'm congested in my lymphatic system. He's like, exercise is the best thing. Let's go work
It
out.
is.
Baby,
It
I'm
is.
overweight. Come work out. Baby, I'm stressed. Come work out. It's like
You know, you get a dopamine release and you just feel so much better after you work out. You do.
yeah. And so working out, being, physically fit. You know what? They say choose your hard, right? Having to buy 2 plane tickets, 2 plane seats because you're overweight, that's hard. Walking around with achy joints, achy pain, low energy, that's hard. Not being able to have the capacity to grow and manage your business because your mind is clogged and you're sluggish and you're just not at full capacity, that's hard. So choose your hard, right?
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you
you're right.
enjoyed what Rich is talking about, he has capacity for clients. He has capacity to help work with you through tapping into that motivation and finding what is it for you, right? He knows what is going to, in a good way, kind of trigger me to get off the couch or to go do. And he has that capability to see what's going to light you up, what's going to get you going, and what's going to help kind of keep you there. And then, of course, if you're not ready for coaching, you can always check out the amazing juicer that we love and
You'll
use
love it.
every week, multiple times a week on our Amazon storefront. And we've got some great recipes as well. So, reach out if you want some of those recipes. What else, Mr. Ward?
Nothing. I just can't wait. It sounds some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth now compared to my thought process in life when I was younger. But it's like this summer. I can't wait to try the juicer out for the smoothies that we're talking about this summer.
Yeah.
It's just funny as you age, things change, and you don't think they will, but they do, and it happens slowly that you go, oh my God, that just happened.
We're not at the raves and clubs anymore. We're juicing and playing
I know.
Skippo. By the way, we'll put some Skippo cards in the
I was going to bring that up and I didn't do it. I did not do it.
Come on in. We'll play a game of cards.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
See you soon.
All right. Bye now.
All right. Bye. And hey, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. And as always, friends don't let friends grow and develop alone. So share this episode with someone you love and care about. We'll see you in the next episode.